Here's a great example of what's new is not always better. But I want the sub number. Yeah, I get it. So if you're a case guy, you'll know what this is. 4-gear planetary carrier out of a Steiger T9 TJ STX. A few rare Magnums had it, and it's the #1 failure in all CNH axles that I'm aware of. So prior to this, quote, new and improved, most all of your Carriers from even back into the old boxcar Magnums had the exact same style Carrier. Not saying they were the same, but the same style. All of the early MXs, all of the early STXs, TJs, T8000s, blah, blah, TGs, they all had the same design. And then when Tier 3 tractors came along, we get our, ta-da, new and improved heavy-duty axle. And all it's done is fail ever since. So what we see in our failure analysis, and even from takeout axles that we send to the rebuild shop, the splines are weak in this Carrier. And it's a little weird because they don't just round off or strip like normal. They'll pit and they'll get chips in them, and then if you don't address it, they'll strip off. So this is the mark number. No matter what part number it is, it's typically always still marked this. And currently, you can't even get one of these. There's probably 10 sub numbers. There's a lot of knowledge articles on what you got to do to change them. And now the current, to get one of these for a Steiger 2011 through 2019, to get one of these, you've got to change your axle housing, axle shaft. Then when you buy the Carrier update, you have to buy new pins, you have to buy new Planetary gears. The only thing that you don't have to change is the pinion shaft. All for this one part that you cannot get. So leave it to me to peck at it, and I have. We've been using them in our axles, so we beta tested them first. And I'm getting ready to sell my first set today. So I got an engineer at one of the colleges in Iowa. Seemed like a pretty sharp guy. Understood the concept that 3 balanced better than 4 and some things that weren't even on my radar. My point was that these don't fail. We actually take these out of quad tracks, so we're not worried about them, quote, being lighter duty. You can go to any tech manual through any series of Steiger, STX, TJ, T9000. The ratios on all of those tractors are the same. You have to understand how to do the math on the quad track and the road track to get to the same math, but the point is that it's the same and it works. So if you only have a bad spline, you do have to buy the ring gear, because the ring gear is what changes the ratio or makes the 3-gear ratio equal the 4-gear ratio. Now if you've got bad planetary gears, bad pinion shaft, we got all that too. That's not a problem. But this is the Carrier is the fix. The ring gear is required, and for us to warranty it, we want you to change both sides. Not just to sell you more, but because the other side of this is going to fail anyway. So it's still cheaper because you don't have to pull the axle back off when that one fails. And it's a lot cheaper than buying a final drive, and certainly cheaper than buying an axle. So I haven't been very good at trying to figure out add these or pieces from our website to these posts, I'm going to try to give that a little bit of an effort. If I fail at that, I'll just add the part number into the text. If you've got that tractor, you should save it, because you're going to need it at some point, because that piece is going to fail. And the sooner you find not sooner you find it, but if you can prevent the failure, it's a lot cheaper than replacing an axle.